Hello.
No announcement, just on.
Good morning.
Hi, everyone.
Good day.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Wanted to do a quick live stream about our time on Adventure of the Seas, or Anthem of the Seas. I have the Adventure shirt on. So, and I'm eating a slice of pizza. I didn't know realize we were going live that aggressively. But I'm here for it. Can you pull up the chat? You have it up? All right, good. So we have the chat up. If anybody has any questions about the Anthem of the Seas, please feel free to fire away on your questions. We're going to give a quick review of kind of how the trip went, how we liked or didn't like certain things. So on this particular sailing, we sailed on the Anthem of the Seas from November 6th to the 13th. First impressions, we got to the terminal. We all had the key. We didn't need it to get through the terminal quickly. We literally walked in the terminal at about 10:20 in the morning.
We were on the ship by like...
I mean, we spent more time, Meg spent more time waiting in line at the bathroom of Starbucks before we got on the ship than we did getting on the ship. It was so crazy.
Do not stop.
Pro tip, don't stop at the Starbucks at Bayonne prior to your cruise, because there are thousands of other cruisers that want Starbucks because they cannot wait the 18 minutes to get on the ship and get Starbucks there.
It would have been faster for us just to get there, get on the ship, and then go to one of those bathrooms.
100%. So we got through the terminal. One thing, we'll give a big kudos to Royal Caribbean. It is so amazingly efficient to get on a Royal Caribbean cruise, especially out of Bayonne. I think that's the 5th cruise I've been on this year out of Bayonne.
Yeah, it's my 3rd.
You've been on a few for adventure and all.
Wait, how many?
We were on Oasis twice. I was on Anthem twice.
And this one. So yeah, so it's 5 for you, 3 for me.
And Adventure once. Yeah.
And every single time has been.
You just walk on the ship. It's so great. You go through security. The longest wait is security of people who in 2022, soon to be 2023, who still don't understand that you have to like not have things in your pockets for
Fun fact.
for the cruise. Yeah.
More
Security
than
is
watching other people go through
my
security.
biggest
Tony
pet
wants to
peeve.
know if we thought the key was worth it.
So, Tony, good, very good question. I know Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog does not think the key is worth it. And I shared that belief up until this cruise. So I'll tell you why I think for this cruise in particular, I think the key was worth it. And we're going to do a full video on this. But so getting on the ship, we did not need the key. So the priority embarkation, definitely not worth it. The key lunch is just great. It's a great experience. It's you can go in at 11:30. First of all, you drop your luggage off, and we only do carry-on luggage. So we bring all our luggage on, and they check it and take it right up to your room for you. So that is a delight in and of itself. As soon as you get on, you don't have to carry your luggage. Then you go to the key lunch at 11:30, and it's really like a slow, long paced out lunch. And you can get a burger, you can get filet mignon. What did you have?
Salmon.
So you can get salmon. You have a bunch of different options for lunch, from chops, soup, Caesar salad, shrimp, the whole 9 yards. And then you can get ice cream or warm chocolate cake or all of those different things for dessert, just like you would at Chops. And then, so that's great. And then as soon as you're done that, which was right around 1 o'clock, we then went up to our rooms to just like get situated. The one negative of the going up to the rooms at 1 o'clock is the first time I've seen it on Royal. There was like a line 5 deep of people waiting to get to their rooms, which is like,
do not sit on the stairs.
yeah, you're on a cruise ship.
I don't know why. There's 1,000 stairs.
Go anywhere.
There was a group of teenagers just literally standing by the stairs at one point, and we walked by, and I sarcastically said, "This is a really good move. Good job, like sitting here." And one
They
of
were
the
not
kids
thrilled
waited
with
until we
me.
walked 2 floors up to yell at the stairs that it was rude.
That was rude.
And I said back that it's rude to sit on the stairs.
Truth.
But just don't. I don't like John things with security. Mine is sitting on the stairs. Like if there's an emergency, if someone's walking, like you are just asking for an accident. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Back to the key.
Anyway, but we digress. So, and then to me, the real key of the key for this sailing was that you get private. First of all, you get seating at all the different shows, which I think is underrated. It's actually pretty good seating. And you don't have to rush to get there to get in the seating. And you're sitting with all the suite guests. So anybody who has Star Class or anybody who's Diamond Plus or higher, you get that seating, which is really nice. And then the other thing is you get private exclusive times at all the things on those ships that are going to cost you money. Like the North Star, which is like 15 or 20 bucks if you don't reserve it on your app and you have to go up and do it, which is impossible to reserve on the app. Roller skating, bumper cars, skydiving. I think that's it.
And the
Flow
surfer,
rider.
yeah.
So all of those things, and then obviously you get priority disembarkation or debarkation, whatever that word is, and then you get breakfast the last day if you so choose to use it, which we didn't. But I do think for that, and it depends on the price of the key, if you can get it for about 20 bucks or 22 bucks, something like that a day, just the internet, because obviously you get Voom, surf and stream with it, and then all of those perks, I do think it's worth it. On a small ship like Enchantment, which we're going on in January, probably not worth it because there's not all of those things that you would need it for. But to me, on Oasis class or Quantum class or Quantum Plus class, really, really worth it because we were able to do skydiving and all of those other things in those times and not have to pay for anything and not even have lines.
And so like some of the stuff you could only sign up for at certain times, but with the key times already there, we were able to sign up for the key times the first day.
Look at how much it is and look at what's on the ship that you want to do. If you're not going to be someone that wants to use the bumper cars or any of those things or skydive, then like it might not be worth it. Save your money for something else. But if you're looking to enjoy everything the ship has to do or has to offer, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. It just makes your first day so enjoyable and it makes everything so easy. It's so nice to go to dinner and then just walk right to the show knowing that you don't have to worry about getting there early to get a seat.
Totally agree.
What do you think, Tony? Do you think it's
Yeah,
worth
do you
it?
think it's worth it, Tony?
Do you get it?
So we got on the ship, super smooth. We had the key lunch, which we just talked about. We made all of our pro tip, make all of your dining and show reservations as soon as you get on. We did that. We made all of our dinner. We had the ultimate dining package. And then we kind of just wandered around the ship a little bit. I was on the ship in March, but the ship looks great. It's a really newer looking ship. The art is really funky. So yeah, it was the first day was cool, and then for dinner the first day we went to Wonderland. So I've been to Wonderland before. What was your overall impressions of Wonderland as I finished my pizza?
It was a really cool experience, but if you have sensory issues with food, go for the aesthetic.
If you're an adventurous eater, I'm an adventurous eater. There's nothing I won't try and very little that I dislike. I was blown away. I thought it was super fun. The waiters there were incredible. They really get into it and go with it. I don't want to tell you about any of the stuff we ate, which I'm sure people are looking at, but part of the fun was trying to like not look at anybody else's plate and just be really amazed when it came out. Try everything. When you go in, especially if you have the dining package, just tell the waiter that you want them to curate the menu for you, and they'll bring out a ton of things. You get to try a lot more than just ordering one appetizer. And yeah. And get
The world.
The world. No.
Yeah, I was going to say the Cheshire.
Oh, the
Everyone talks about
Cheshire
world.
Cat.
Everyone already knew about the world. But I watched like 4 different women order the Mad Hatterita.
The
Rabarita, that's what it was. Including myself, because it has the best description. Everybody seems to order it. It's a margarita. It's nice, but it's not fancy. Do the one that has the Cheshire Cat. I'm not going to tell you why, but it is so good and so delightful, and it's not a drink I would normally order, but it was great. And then yeah, the world is the one that everybody knows about, and the Great Kim, and you should get it. Probably only need 1 per table, but you know.
Did we each get one?
Yeah.
We did. Shout out to our server Lloyd.
Oh,
We had
Lloyd
him
was
both
so
times.
I
nice.
can remember his name. Yes.
He made the experience so much better. He was really into it, funny,
He was really into it.
really good at guiding you through.
And shout out to Ami. We had asked at one point if there was a hidden Alice in the restaurant, and she came out. She was the hostess, and she came out and she told us that she was the hidden.
She was
Alice.
dressed like Alice.
Yeah, she's from the Philippines. She was great. So we did Wonderland the first night, and then we kind of We are as we're experiencing more and more cruising, we have figured out that we are all just old people that go to bed early every night and we don't stay out late for any of the things. I tried at least a few nights on this cruise to stay up late to film like things that were going on the ship. Not once. We all went to bed early.
To be fair, we do wake up at like 5 or 6 on the cruise
We
ship,
do.
which most people going on are not doing.
Yeah, we get up early to work, so that is true. But we did not stay up late.
No, that's okay.
The whole a lot of the entertainment is just so weird.
Yeah, we'll get in. So we have feelings on the entertainment. Obviously, I did an entertainment review already. So if you haven't seen that, you can go check that out, and you can get mad at me for my views on that.
Yeah.
But
touching back on how you said it was the art on the ship is weird. I will say it's weird, but it's the best art I've seen on any cruise I've ever been on. Like if you just walk around and look at it, it is all so detailed and so incredible. It just makes you feel creative, and I feel like the shows are a big extension of that. Like it's just a very
it's weird.
eccentric place.
So day 2, we did breakfast at the MDR. We did. Where did we say we did lunch on day 2?
Tony said,
"Welcome
"Welcome to my world."
Welcome to my world," about being old. So day 2 for lunch, we did. I had this written down. I should have brought it with me. Not important. I think it was the buffet or something. It wasn't anything memorable for lunch. And then dinner on day 2, we did Jamie's Italian. So I already said it in my my dining review. Jamie's Italian is now my favorite restaurant on any cruise ship that I've been on. It was Le Bistro on Norwegian for a long time.
Le Bistro's second for me.
Yeah, and obviously there are cruise lines we have not been on, right? So we have not been on Cunard. We have not been on.
MSC.
Well, MSC will be on in April and May of next year.
Virgin. We haven't been on Virgin. Their food's supposed to be incredible.
But right now I've been on Princess, I've been on NCL, I've been on Royal, Celebrity, all the other ones, whatever. And this is by far the best restaurant. We had just an amazing meal. Twice. We went there 2 times. So first night, Lorenzo was our server. He was great. We sat in the same table both nights we went there. But the food's great. The garlic bread there is really good. They have a board that they bring out, like a charcuterie board.
The lime meringue cheesecake. Lemon meringue cheesecake.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so good.
What's better, the world or the lemon meringue cheesecake?
It's close. The world's a better experience. The lemon meringue cheesecake's probably a better dessert.
Anything with peanut butter carries so much weight for me.
It does.
that-
The peanut butter is really good, and you can't eat the
world
lemon
is great,
meringue
but
cheesecake.
it's so dense. You take like 4 bites,
Yeah,
and you're
and
like, I can't eat any more of
It's
this.
too much. The lemon meringue cheesecake you can hammer.
Bathe myself in the
Yeah.
meringue from the cheesecake,
It's so good.
unless you have an egg allergy, and then it's probably not the one you pick.
Yep. So we did that, and then I think that's the night we went to Spectra's Cabaret. It doesn't matter.
No,
I mean,
that was the night we saw. That was the show night, I thought. No, I guess that was later in that week.
Well, we
Yeah,
did the gift and Spectre's Cabaret on the same
same
night.
Oh,
night.
that's what it
That's
was, yeah.
right. So we
Okay.
went to see the gift.
and then we went to the
So I will put a caveat on the gift. I talked to, it's funny, I watched a lot of, obviously I watch a ton of YouTube content anyway, but I was watching a ton of people that talked about the gift and they absolutely loved it. They thought it was a tearjerker and it was emotional. And we thought it was hot garbage.
I was just going to say
And
garbage. It was garbage.
I apologize for that. There were some good songs in it.
The actor, no offense to
No,
the
they were great.
entertainers.
They were great. The
but,
singers were good.
The storyline,
It's just,
what?
I don't
Very
understand.
convoluted.
I mean, we get it. We understood the concept, and we don't want
Yeah.
to ruin it for all of you. But why? There was just so many choices in it that just made no sense to me.
Yeah, it's very like zombies, and then some people are alive, some people are dead. I'm not sure.
Tension with a girl dancing with silks,
I don't know. I don't understand. So we did not love the gift. Like I said, the music was good. The people were good, but it was just weird.
it never came back to the painting. The whole thing started with the paint. What?
I don't
Why
know.
did
I
you
don't
not
understand.
tie up that end? What are you doing? You can't start with the painting and talk about the mother's painting and then just never bring it back.
The mother's painting goes the way of the 2 men in the woods of The Sopranos that never got resolved as
I
well.
thought the mother's painting was the whole ending with the shadows.
I have no idea. I don't recall what you're. I was so.
The Shadows was their love story, and that was the most interesting part. But like, I don't know.
I was
I don't believe
in such a hurry to get up and leave.
Well, there was also a lot of kids.
Also, the woman, whoever you were, if you ever see this, who was sitting directly behind me like this, who had the flash photography on the entire time, after literally the cast members so generously asked everyone to please not use that flash photography because it messes with their effects and blinds them while they're on stage. And she just decided that did not apply to her and had it on the entire time. I hope you forever have wet socks.
It's such a good punishment. But
the gift was better than Spectre's Cabaret.
Yeah. So before we get into Spectre's Cabaret, which is where we went next, I will say we did not going on this cruise, and it wasn't an issue for us. But going on this cruise, we did not expect there to be a lot of children. I'm going to move my phone just in case it causes any kind of issues.
We said we were going to start doing, before we go on these cruises, what do we expect the cruise to be like and make guesses. And we did not realize that, was it New Jersey schools that were
New Jersey
on
schools were
vacation?
off that week.
So we did not realize they were off that week. So we were actually guessing that there would be very few children because we were going into the holidays. And we were very wrong.
We're wrong. And it wasn't I don't think it was a big deal for us. It didn't affect my vacation at all. The places that I think would be busy where you would try to avoid kids are the buffet. We generally don't go to the buffet a whole bunch. And then obviously bumper cars and different things like that. And the arcade and those type of things. So it wasn't super impactful to our vacation. However, and I saw this afterwards in the Facebook group, everywhere you turned on the ship, there was a kid coughing or sneezing, which is not a good sign when you're on vacation.
Poor little guys.
Yeah, the kids just
red eyes.
Yeah, the kids did not look good on the cruise.
Something went around Adventure Ocean.
Yeah. So what I heard afterwards on the Facebook groups, and I don't know if this is true or not because we had a delightful vacation. We also don't interact with a ton of people. So there were 300 or 400 people in the Facebook group who had norovirus or some type of stomach bug. So makes sense. We also did see, and I brought this up in my one video, I'll bring it up in the tour as well. This was the first cruise post-pandemic where I saw a lot of people not washing their hands.
It was so gross.
A lot of people just walking through the hand washing station at the buffet and nobody said anything to them. And I know on NCL is a little more crazy with the washi-washi of like getting everybody than Royal ever was anyway. And Royal does have the like kiosks everywhere with Purell, but
I mean, there's no excuse. There are 1,000 places to wash your hands.
Yeah, it was pretty gross of the people that just wandered into the buffet. Again, another reason we don't really go to the buffet. So that's just an aside. There were a ton of kids and a lot of people got sick. But so we then went to Spectre's Cabaret and we were there for
10 minutes.
Probably a little less than we were at Cats on Oasis.
Cats, they lost me as soon as the roaches started dancing.
Yeah, there was dancing
cockroaches. I was
cockroaches.
just like, I can't do this. And
I mean, Cats has an excuse. It's a 40-year-old play that maybe doesn't age well. Spectre's Cabaret is new. I didn't talk as in opposite of The Gift, where I did talk to some people who really enjoyed The Gift. I have not talked to anybody who has ever saw Spectre's Cabaret that enjoyed it. I did get a comment on my entertainment review of somebody who was on Odyssey, and they said that the show in 270 on Odyssey is really good. So I'm looking forward to that in March. But Spectre's Cabaret, we're not gonna go into details about the cast or anything, but it's just not a good show.
If you took out all the people, I would probably enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Not saying that they're not talented, just that like the
it just doesn't make sense.
Were the robotics.
Yeah. And so
we came out as if they were bad.
No.
I didn't mean that. I meant the robotics of the show were really cool. The people just felt like it was too much.
So we did go the last day of the cruise. We did go to 270 for what we thought was a robot show, which was really a tech demo. However, it was really cool.
AJ got very excited. It was a tech demo.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, they showed the full the way that everything works in 270, and that was far more compelling than Spectre's Cabaret.
It was incredible, and the stories that they told, they had like 5 short stories that were really good.
Really good.
We're about to lose the camera, so I'm gonna.
Yep.
Hold, please. What?
Hey, Steve. Thanks for joining us.
Hi,
We're
Steve.
gonna click off the camera and turn it back on real quick. There we go.
What did Steve say?
He said live stream.
Live stream. Okay.
So yeah, we're just talking about how our time on Anthem of the Seas. So that kind of wrapped up day 2. Then we'll just go through like some of the high points for us. We ate at Izumi, which was really good. Little pro tip, or maybe it's not a pro tip.
What was the one you got? That was the best roll. Do you remember?
No, I should have wrote down
it
the
was
roll.
so good.
I can pick it out. I have the menu. I'll put it under the post. But we did Izumi. If you have the dining package, you can do the Izumi's an a la carte restaurant, so you could do the $35 fixed price menu, which is 1 appetizer, 2 entrees, 2 rolls, which is just way too much food. We had 6 rolls, and then we had mochi for dessert. But
Also, keep in mind their rolls are like
they're
this
just
big.
giant.
Like they're so big.
Yeah.
You think about like when you and like a partner order sushi for dinner, it's like, oh, we can get 3 or 4 rolls. It is not the same.
No, they're
1
huge.
roll per person minimum or maximum.
Maximum. So the rolls, it's really good. If you go there and you don't have the dining package, you can still do that $35 fixed price menu, which is really good. That's a good value for if you don't have the dining package. So that was really good. We went to Jamie's Italian twice. We went to Wonderland twice. The second time we went to Jamie's Italian, we had Anton as our server. He was amazing. So shout out to Anton from the Ukraine. Yeah. He was awesome.
He was so cool.
Yeah. And we also saw him in 270. And then
And that was John's birthday. Well, no.
celebration.
We were supposed to be celebrating his birthday the next night at Wonderland, but we celebrated 2 nights. So he also at Jamie's.
Double birthday.
Yeah, and we got a bottle of wine. That was nice.
And then we went to Chops. We did Chops one night, and Chops just standardly good. I still go back and forth between Chops and Cagney's. Chops is better, I think, than Cagney's on NCL, but it's pretty close.
They're similar. I still can't figure out which one has the creamy lobster bisque. If anyone knows, please let me know. We've tried them so many times and I keep forgetting. One of them, it's like a very watery, and the other one's super creamy. I think that's a deciding factor for me because otherwise they're just so good.
Yeah, I think both of them are really good. I think I like the ambiance at Cagney's a little bit better, depending on what ship you're on. If you're on the breakaway class ships, it's right above the Manhattan room, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun to watch
The shows and stuff. So that's cool. So we did Chops. We did We Will Rock You, which again, talk about weird shows. It's a weird show.
I will say Chops has a better dessert than Cagney's
Yes.
because they have the caramelized popcorn and the cheesecake thing.
Yeah, it's very good. We Will Rock You was great. The cast was great. It's the second time I saw it. I saw them in March, and it was a different cast. They were awesome, and this cast was awesome. You guys liked it, right?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Definitely the best show that we saw on board,
Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, it's not even close.
other than the robot
Yeah.
demonstration. That's a different thing.
So other highlights, I think AJ and I did the North Star, which was
That was really
spectacular.
We got to see a rainbow.
Yeah, we saw a rainbow up there. And this is a really cool thing that you know, obviously, how many times are you going to get to do that on a cruise ship? So it was cool. It would be cool at port, too.
And Meg and I did the ripcord.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were skydiving. That was super cool. That was really fun. Your lips like flap.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
And then, I mean, we also got to go to 2 ports we had never been
Oh,
to
yeah.
before.
So I forgot to bring that up.
Republic is the prettiest port I've ever been to.
The day we were leaving, we got, as we were pulling out of Bayonne, New Jersey, we got an announcement from the captain that said, we are not doing the itinerary that we said we were going to do because of Hurricane Nicole. So we were supposed to go to Florida, Port Canaveral, Nassau, Perfect Day, which we have done so many times. I've done that cruise 4 or 5 times this year.
I've done it 2 or 3 times this
Yeah.
year.
So we were not upset about that. Initially, the captain said we were just going to go to Labadee. So because of the weather, we were going to have to hit full speed just to get to Labadee. We were going to spend a day and a half at Labadee and then come back, which is fine. However, They wound up securing Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic as well. So we got to go to 2 ports. They were both great.
Labadee was beautiful. Shout out to Chiller, who led us around the island and told us some really cool things. I had no idea that Royal Caribbean built a school on Labadee for the children that live there. I thought that was really neat. I really liked learning about their culture. And we had some really good discussions about whether or not they enjoy when people come to their islands and their area and the economy of tourism and how much they actually enjoy having people there, which is cool. It feels good to kind of travel in an ethical way. And then we also rode a roller coaster there, which was incredible.
No, Pine Coaster.
Super fun. Do not touch the brakes. Just go as fast as you can.
Yeah, that's what the guy said. The guy was like, I said, you know, like when you get on, like, how much of the brake do you use? And he just stared at me and said, don't touch the brakes. Don't touch the brakes. Just go.
It's good. And then AJ and I did the obstacle course, the water obstacle course.
Meg did the water obstacle course. I have a hurt shoulder. Could not pull myself up.
It's okay. I did it for both of us. She cheered me on from the water. But it was super fun. There's like some rock climbing features where you're just kind of pulling yourself up. And pro tip for that, because a lot of people are falling, use the little handhold so that you're also climbing with your feet and your hands, which is nice. And just don't be scared. If you fall in the water.
So Labadee, little bit of just a tip when you go to Labadee.
Oh yeah.
When you get there and you get off and you start moving and meandering your way around the island, at some point you are going to have to walk through their little artisan village. So look, it's great that they have a little artisan village and you can kind of support the local economy there. However, we didn't know that before we got there because obviously we didn't do research that we were going to that port. So we didn't really have cash with us because, as you know, at Perfect Day or Labadee, you can use your CPass card for everything. So the local people there that run each of those little in the straw market there, they are super aggressive. So you are getting pulled into each of these little things. You know, it's like any other port.
Shopping. They're not mean.
No, not at all. Yeah, they're aggressively trying to pull you into each of their little huts and show you their goods and everything, which are all really nice.
And
so
if you line up to buy, like if you go to buy something, other people will come and line up and start saying, I'm next. And other people, I mean by like other sellers.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get you to buy even more. So it is a lot, and you have to be pretty forceful of like, no, I don't want to buy anything else. Like this is all I'm spending, and you can haggle with price if you decide to buy anything.
So just pro tip, just be aware of that.
Take small bills.
And take small bills, yeah.
And if
don't bring 100 out onto that. If you want to
avoid that, look at the map before you go. There are ways to get places without going through the artisan village.
Yeah.
If you ask for directions, they're most likely going to send you right through it. We learned other shops on Labadee where you can use your CPass that have a lot of the same objects, but if you buy it in the artisan village, you're contributing to the local economy there. As to where if you're buying it from the shops for Royal Caribbean, obviously that money is going to Royal Caribbean. So we're not saying don't shop in the artisan villages, just be prepared and make sure you have the small bills to do it. Hi Pete, can you read them all
Hey,
out?
Pete.
Yeah, sailing on Anthem this Sunday. Good to hear about Jamie's.
Yeah, Jamie's is incredible. I highly recommend. If you're
plank board.
Yeah, get the plank for your appetizer. If you're going to do specialty dining, all of the specialty dining on board Anthem was great. I heard, so we ate at the buffet for like one meal. We ate lunch there just because.
We did breakfast one day before our excursion.
Yeah, we try to like be fair when we're doing a dining review, which is going to be coming out today or tomorrow. I would be real careful. The buffet was not great when we were on it, and with all the people that were sick, I kind of avoid the buffet, especially with people not washing their hands. But the MDR and the specialty dining restaurants were great.
He also wanted to know what our favorite bar or lounges.
Oh, great. So we'll give you a little pro tip on bars. So what we found, I think, on this cruise is it looks like Royal Caribbean has raised their prices a little bit for cocktails. So we had a sail away cocktail.
We did not have the drink package.
No.
That's important to say. So we were paying
per drink.
A la carte per drink.
So the first cocktail we had was sail away cocktail with $1 tip. It was like $16, $15.96. So that is expensive. So I have a pro tip, and then we'll talk about favorite bar or lounge. So my favorite venue on this entire ship is the music hall. I mean, there's no other one that I like as much.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's way bigger than the music hall on Oasis, which is crazy, considering the size of the ship. And they play a lot of games and have a lot of different events in there. That's where like the cover band is. I do like the English pub too. However, it's super small and gets really crowded.
And the where's the one that we did trivia?
The Schooner Bar?
The Schooner Bar. It's way
Yeah,
smaller
I
than
love
some
the
of the other
Schooner
schooner bars we've
Yeah.
been in.
But it
it's a
wasn't
little-
often crowded.
That's what I was just
No,
gonna
it
say.
wasn't.
It's kind of around the corner. It's past Izumi, so it's not as much of a traveled spot on the ship. So if you're looking for something a little bit quieter, they often have live piano music and like trivia and things like that going on there. I liked that one a lot. But yeah, the pro tip as far as the drinks.
Pro tip for drinks: if you don't have the drink package, I would say one pro tip we found is to go to the Bionic Bar. It seems super gimmicky, right? So the Bionic Bar is something you get on the ship, you're going to do once, and you're going to be like, all right, I'm over it, right? It's cool to watch, it's fun, but it's like, okay, once is enough. However, what we found is if you go to the Bionic Bar, you can make whatever drink you want. You can add as many
As much of the
alcohol as you
percentage
want.
of the other drink that you want,
and it's $8.
and you're not tipping because it's a robot.
It's a robot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's about half the price of doing a cocktail somewhere else.
Yes.
But you can't get frozen.
Yeah, you can't get frozen. And there was an issue at
This
one point,
music
one of them malfunctioned. But if you have the specialty dining though, the special cocktails at the different places are fun to try. The Schooner Bar had like a lavender thing that was interesting.
Yeah.
We mentioned on Wonderland how they're really fun. I recommend the Cheshire Cat. And then the other one is if you are a wine drinker and you said you're going to Jamie's especially, they have really good wine there that's a little bit cheaper than just buying wine anywhere else. We got a bottle to share, which was a little cheaper for you because you of your level at Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, it was only like $30. So if you do, that is another pro tip. If you go to Jamie's, Italian wines are really cheap anyway. So try one of the Italian wines.
And I'm assuming you can do it on all the cruise ships. I know I saw someone do it on Norwegian, but if you're traveling by yourself and at dinner you buy a bottle of wine, one of the nights they'll hold it for you, so you can have that another night too. If you don't want to just do by glass.
Pete also wanted to know if the music hall was very crowded.
It wasn't. So one of the pro and con of a lot of kids being on the sailing, because there was a lot of kids. Pete, if you didn't join us, there was a ton of kids on this sailing. Usually at night, kids aren't around. However, on this sailing,
They were everywhere.
there were kids everywhere. But it was not, music hall was not overly crowded. Even when I was on in March during spring break, music hall was not overly crowded. It's not like it's such a big space.
Yeah, it's huge on this ship, and it's
It's 2 floors. It's
super
great.
Cool chairs. The whole ship has like really neat aesthetics. Definitely recommend like walking around and just looking at it. Each room is decorated differently.
The upstairs definitely did seem less crowded. It
Sure.
did get a little packed right around the dance floor, but that's kind of to be expected.
The way that it's set up is so if you're on the top floor, if you're right by the edge, then you can see. But if you back up, there's pool tables and things like that. So back there was definitely less crowded. And then down away from the stage, there were like big, comfortable, big yellow chairs that seemed to always be open.
Steve said $8 discount robot drinks and tons of children. Sounds like a combo.
Yeah, totally. I mean, on our sailing, I will say generally you see some, on Royal and Norwegian, not as much obviously as on Carnival. We usually do see some, there weren't a lot of like 21-year-olds. So there were a lot of adults and a lot of children. So
It seemed like there was quite a few like family vacations where like the grandparents and
Tons.
parents
Yeah,
and
tons.
aunts.
family members.
Finding out that New Jerseys were out for school or that they were on school vacation, and I think we got a lot of teachers and their families. Like a lot of teachers were on vacation, they brought their kids, and like it was multi-generational families that were on this trip.
But yeah, so and again, if anybody has any questions, fire away. But any other, so I will say I did the first time I've done this, I did the SIP tour brunch, and I did this by accident. We were wandering around. We were going to just go back to our rooms for a little bit. I went back to my room, and my cabin steward was in my room. So I had to like walk away. It was like 10:28, and I saw the SIP tour brunch started at 10:30. So I walked down and asked them if they still had room. They did. It was $40. which is more money than I would pay for this if I was recommending it. However, it is really cool. They take you on a full galley tour of the 3rd and 4th floor that basically feeds all the main dining rooms and the Windjammer. And it was really fascinating to see how they make certain things and just how they cook for that type of scale, like the big giant vats of soup that they make or mashed potatoes, and some of the automation that they have where basically they just put tomatoes in this big giant thing, and then the top closes and they add sugar, salt, and different things, and then it just makes tomato sauce, which is crazy. They had a big one for French onion soup for mashed potatoes. The mashed potato thing, all they have to do is peel the potatoes and put them in. It boils them in there and then drains the water and then mashes them. They add cream and butter. It's pretty cool. And then you got another kind of key style lunch with that, which I did not need at 10:30 in the morning after we just ate breakfast. But we got filet mignon and shrimp and stuff like that. Another cool thing we saw on this ship that I had not noticed before maybe was when you went to the main dining room for breakfast, there was 2 lines. The left side was your traditional breakfast. The right side was a buffet, and it was in silk, the main dining room, silk. And in that main dining room, they had like a little breakfast buffet set up, and it was amazing. And we did get to witness a woman eat 2 pounds of smoked salmon all by herself.
It was impressive.
I'm just proud. I think that's pretty cool.
It was impressive. And she ate French toast and stuff too.
So Tony said definitely not like my grandma making soup.
Definitely not. 100%.
And Pete asked, did you visit the casino? Is craps on board?
There was a lot of crap in the casino. Let me start with that. So, yeah, I visited the casino. Not as much as usual.
No.
So usually I spend a little bit of money. I did spend enough to get a free cruiser, like $100 off or whatever.
Listen, guys, I've never won in the casino. I don't know if I'm bad luck or what, but I am not the casino going type. I can never win.
So I have won this year on the casino. I won 900 or something on Anthem in March, and I won like 1,000 on Pearl. It was the only good thing that happened on Pearl.
I forgot about that.
Whole
I was gonna say,
week
and
that we
all
were
of those
there.
were the ones I was not with you on. But
Yeah.
no, Pearl, I was
Pearl,
there.
you were, yeah. And so
Worst cruise we
there
ever
is
had.
craps. There's 2 craps tables. There's a smoking. There's 2 sides of the casino. There's a smoking side and a non-smoking side. It's not as big a casino as Oasis, obviously, but
It did all smell like cigarette smoke.
but yeah, there's no avoiding the cigarette. So I will say Norwegian does a better job of that. They have like a glass box where you can smoke in the casino. Royal just does 2 sides. On Oasis, it's a little bit easier because you have 2 literal sides of the ship. On this, they don't. It's not that big. So there is craps on both the smoking side and the non-smoking side. There were not a ton of people playing craps, which is normal on a cruise ship. I generally don't see a ton of people playing craps on a cruise ship. But I do play craps. I like craps. And there is a craps table. There's roulette tables on both sides. Obviously, blackjack and poker tournaments as well.
Did this cruise have any signs of people smoking, vaping the devil's lettuce on board?
Yeah, so I smelled a little bit of...
I definitely did. I mean, I talked to a couple people. When he said we don't talk to anyone, that does not hold true to me. I talk to
I
everyone.
said a lot of people. We don't talk to a lot.
Meg talks to people.
I enjoy trying to make friends on these trips. So some people definitely brought stuff with them, mostly in the form of gummies, because you're not technically supposed to have a vape. But there were a couple times we walked past the smoking section, and they for sure were enjoying that devil's lettuce, as you said.
Yeah, I find that pretty much that happens nowadays. I think everybody has edibles. I don't think they care at all about edibles. And then you definitely smell some people smoke.
It's like in the guidelines. You're definitely not supposed to, but people did. But if you're worried about it, just bring the gummies.
I agree, Steve. Craps is a ton of fun. The hard part about craps, especially on a cruise ship, is craps is such a community kind of based game where it's more fun when you have a lot of people. So I find that sometimes, especially on Royal, it's weird. We were on Norwegian Escape last year and we were playing craps and it was a blast. There was a ton of people. Yeah.
John taught me how to play.
There was a ton of people there and it was really fun. On a lot of the Royal ones, I don't see a lot of people playing craps. I don't know why.
I do like just sitting there next to it.
It's
like
fun.
observing. I think I'm too stingy with my own money. I think that's my problem. I never bet big, so I never win big.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'm not committed enough to
When John allows us to play with his money, I have fun.
Yeah. Craps is fun. So yeah, I think other highlights. The food was spectacular.
Yeah.
Even the free food in the main dining room was very good on this cruise. I have no.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the smoothies. So one thing is like the Oasis ship and everything. By the spa, you can go and buy smoothies, which as I start most of my days off with one, I enjoyed that a lot. And I kind of hated that on a lot of the ships you can't. And they would come around. They had little blueberry banana smoothies that were delicious. Highly recommend.
You're 100% right, Tony.
Yes, Meg is the social butterfly. John and I. Oh, I'm mixing you and my husband up. John and I are very much in the cocoon.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm an extroverted introvert. So I can be extroverted, but normally I'm pretty introverted.
I'm just an introvert.
Yeah. AJ's the like.
I could live in a hole and be happy. Yeah, food's a big one for us.
Yeah, Steve, I agree. So food. So Steve said food is my probably my number one concern for cruising.
Food
so
was delicious, Steve. Go to Jamie's.
Yeah. So
That's a favorite of me.
I highly recommend it. So look, there are channels that will deal with budget cruising, and certainly at times we are going to do different things.
I still stand by. I'm going to go on one cruise where I try not to spend $1.
Yeah.
But
And you can have a great time and eat food that's good for free.
Oh, the other pro tip about wait, never mind.
Okay. Come back to that. AJ just had a stroke live on YouTube.
It happens all the time.
So I would say if you can afford to, for any of these cruises, if you can afford to do the ultimate dining package, it's usually around $200 for a 7-day cruise per person.
Can I say one part though?
Yeah.
Something that we haven't done that if it was not a business that we were doing this for and I was just doing it personally, I think I would actually take advantage of the 3-night dining way more. Like we talked about it on Norwegian, how we love Le Bistro, we like Cagney's and stuff like that. On Royal Caribbean, we love Chops, we love Jamie's, and then I really liked Wonderland. I think it's an experience. That would give you 3 nights of the dining, and then like if you are worried at all about budget but still want to worry about food, that would be my intermediate tip that I would say probably do, because you could still hit kind of the highlights and then subsidize that with a couple times to the buffet, main dining room, etc.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great tip. Even you could do Chops +1, which is a good tip. For me, I love the ultimate dining package. It's like $200 a person, and I just budget that into my cruise expense, right? So when I look at the cruise, I would rather, and again, like a lot of people don't agree with me, but after going on all these cruises, I would rather stay in an inside cabin and have the dining package than stay in the balcony and eat at the buffet. Yeah. I don't go on the balcony all that much. It's great to have fresh air. It's great to do all those different things. However, in my experience, I love food, and I do not want to be disappointed with food at all. So I enjoy going to even the option of like going to Johnny Rockets, which is included, and Izumi, which is included.
With that, I wholeheartedly agree. If you asked if I wanted an inside room or to be able to get the ultimate dining package, I want all the food. I also love a balcony. I know I'm going to be on a balcony in 2 weeks when we go on Symphony, and it's super nice to be able to have it open, see the ocean, things like that, but it is not.
Well, you'll be in a Central Park balcony.
Yeah,
so.
But I also have the dining package, so I wasn't picking between the two. If
To-
I have to pick between the two, I'm going to pick the dining package.
Tony asked, I forgot the little place to eat near next cruise. Did you eat there?
Yeah, so Cafe 270, Tony, that's right next to there. And also Vintages is right there, so I don't know which one you meant. Vintages serves appetizers from Jamie's, but that is an additional cost. And then Cafe 270 is right by next cruise there, right outside of 270. And they have really fun grab and go. To me, Cafe, if you like comparing this to like an Oasis class ship, Cafe 270 is like Central Park Cafe, where they have like in the morning, they have like the bagel buffet where you can get cream cheese and lox and all those different things. And then the Promenade Cafe just has little grab and go things. So yeah, I think it's Cafe 270 you're talking about maybe. But we did eat there. We tried because I got somebody snarked at me in my last dining review where we didn't try one of the places, and they were like, "Oh, you said you tried everything, but you didn't."
Yeah, we tried the Solarium Bistro this time.
Oh.
That was.
Oh my god, I love.
That was a little hidden gem.
Yes, if you go there for dinner, who was it? Was it Steve who said he's all about the food? Who's going on this trip? Steve, go to Solarium Bistro and order the lamb. if you're okay with like a little bit of spice.
It's
So good. It's
incredible.
kind of like a Mediterranean American, like Americana mix is what they describe it on the app as. And you can go up and pick as many appetizers as you want. You just grab them. They are absolutely delicious. The watermelon salad, don't sleep on that. I know it seems like it wouldn't be the most appealing one. It was probably one of the best ones we had. And then you order your entree, and then you go up and grab whatever you want for dessert. Really, really loved it. It's great. You do need to make a reservation, and you cannot wear your bathing suit in there, which obviously you shouldn't be. You can't even do that at the buffet, but a lot of people were trying.
Should
and
be
then
should be common sense.
the person was sending them away.
Tony said yes.
Okay.
I assume that is to ask you that.
Yeah. So Solarium Bistro was a hidden little gem. Definitely make a reservation. I also did find out on most ships that is an a la carte, and there is a cost to that. So I don't know if they didn't say anything to us about that because we have the dining package.
Maybe.
But I would just double check on that. Cafe G7. Yep. And then Anthem has the little patisserie or whatever it's called, the French bakery there, where everything in there you do have to pay for, which again turns some people off. But we did try.
I got 2 macarons.
Yeah, and I had
the,
some kind of cake from there.
Yeah.
I had a Rocky Road.
You had like a
Rocky
Rocky Road thing or Oreo thing maybe, and I got an Earl Grey.
I had a chai.
Or no, I had an Earl Grey macaron and I don't know. I always want to say macaroon, but that's the one with the
Macaron.
coconut.
Yeah, macaroons with coconut.
I think I got lavender and Earl Grey maybe. I got 2. I don't know. They were delicious. Both were very good. Maybe a hazelnut. It doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter.
I have a video of you going woo with it.
Anyway,
But that place is
was really
good. We just like to try everything for everybody.
Try the
and
doghouse and Johnny Rockets.
One
Yeah.
fun fact that I didn't know going on, was it because we were gold? I don't remember what it was, but I got like 40% off. Or
You got it for gold. I got it for emerald, whatever.
So although those are like pay and they're not included in things like that, you get 40% off per trip if you're gold, or maybe you get 1 if you're gold and 2 if you're platinum
or emerald. Tony said he loves the Solarium Bistro for lunch. Yeah, breakfast and lunch. They have great options too that are completely free for breakfast and lunch. So it's a great spot to eat where it's not as crowded. And also, if you do like buffet-ish style, like that's a great alternative to going to the Windjammer because the Windjammer's just.
We did Solarium Bistro for breakfast one time on Oasis. And
Oasis,
it was really good
you and I
too.
did
we
that.
didn't do it on this one.
It was good.
Also, the Solarium is just amazing. It was my favorite part of the whole ship. I went there every day. These 2 did not, but I was there every single day. It was spectacular.
I was there every day on my last cruise on Anthem. But I like the Solarium on Anthem more than I like the Solarium on Oasis. It's obviously not as big, but it's really good. And then I think just the ship in general was a high point. This was a really nice.
Yeah, I really liked this ship.
You can do whatever.
Where the Solarium is, also, I noticed not a lot of people knew about it, but if you go down to the front, so there's like a swing and you're looking out at the front of the ship, those seats are normally always taken unless you get there really early, and the 2 hot tubs. But if you walk around to the right, we did this at one point. We walked out when it was kind of rocking a lot. There's a whole little sun deck that has nice little chairs and you can lay out there. So if you want to be outside, I went out there probably 3 out of the 5 days at one point, and there was nobody else out there. I was just by myself outside on this beautiful sun deck, and it was really great. So recommend that. What were you saying, Adri?
No, I was just saying that I really enjoyed this ship.
All right, you guys have a call in 6 minutes.
Yeah, we got it.
So yeah, other than that, this was a great trip, especially because we were heading into a storm and we completely avoided the storm. We did have one rocky day, but nobody got sick. It wasn't like a sick rocky day. The weather was good.
Last thing that I want to say, if there's a captain corner, you should go to it.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Based on the description, they were both into it right away, but based on the description when I was looking at it, it pretty much just says like the captain's talking, and it sounded like it was going to be a lecture, and did not appeal to me entirely. But when we went, it was great. Our captain was super funny. The other people there were really knowledgeable. You just get to ask a lot of questions. It's open forum, kind of like this, where you just raise your hand, and they have these really fun fact sheets that teach you like the average cruise uses 750 bottles of vodka, or it was 18,000 pounds of eggs, I believe, which when you think about how many eggs have to go into a pound, it really started to hurt my brain. But they were fun facts, and it was really interesting and funny. I highly recommend.
Klaus really appreciated the fact sheet. When
He'll
was his
appreciate
favorite.
that on Symphony because that'll be great. So probably the other tip that goes along with that is something that I always like to tell people if you're choosing to go on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and obviously we go on all different cruises, so we have experience with all different cruise lines. In my experience thus far on all the cruises that I've been on, Royal Caribbean does the best job of informing you of weather and fixing problems and going around it. And we're gonna fix the camera here.
Blacked out.
But a prime example of that on this cruise, yeah, there you go. So sorry about that, everybody. So a prime example of that on this cruise is that the Royal Caribbean spent $1.2 million on fuel to make sure that we got to cool ports and that we were safe. So we literally went full speed, 20.5 knots on Anthem, the entire way down, the entire way back. And if you follow James Van Vliet on Twitter, he gives a little weather update he did in room. He created a video for in room to let you know about the weather, where we were going. Royal Caribbean is spectacular at doing that. No other cruise line does that, even remotely as well as Royal, where I feel like we're definitely going away from any kind of bad weather. On that note, we have a call at 1 o'clock. So thank you all for stopping by. If you have any questions, you can shoot them to me at jp@bitesizedcruises.com. And then
and go watch our video on the best excursion we did in the Dominican Republic.
Yep.
It's already up on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So what was the last question there, Steve?
Do you have a cruise lines that have a slow period in the year, or can you find a trip pretty much any time in the U.S.?
Yeah, so go ahead. You guys can go. I got it.
Okay.
So they have a call. I don't have a call. So Steve, I'll stay on for a few minutes. So Steve, yeah, so there are some really quiet times during the year that are great for cruises. So January is definitely a quiet time. Right now, after Black Friday, between Black Friday and Christmas, is very quiet. And then obviously Christmas and New Year's cruises are very expensive. But if you do like now until Christmas, very cheap. January, very cheap. February's still pretty cheap, getting up there. And then, obviously then it becomes cruising season for the most part. And then summer's hit or miss based on the weather. But yeah, those are the off-peak times. So great question. We do my time dining, but we rarely go to the dining room for dinner. So I will say my time sells out the quickest. Obviously they can only book so many people for my time. So you do have to make reservations when you have my time dining. Not that that should be a big deal. It's not usually that big of a deal, Pete. But my time on... So in my experience, Royal my time dining is a little more aggravating than anytime dining. Obviously on Norwegian, everything's freestyle, so you do what you want. They do a little bit of a better job with that, where you basically just show up and at the dining rooms and you can eat. But yeah, that's that. So anyway, our team will be on Symphony of the Seas, December 3rd through the 10th. So you'll see a ton of content. We still have to do the ship tour for Anthem, which will come out probably this week or next week, and a full dining review, which I'm working on now, which will be out in the next day or two. Tony, thanks so much. Have a great Thanksgiving as well. You too. We hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. And then in January, we'll be on Enchantment. And then if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, we are doing a murder mystery cruise next Halloween from the 30th until November 5th or 6th. It's a 6-day cruise on Anthem. So we'll be back on Anthem for Halloween next year. We're doing a full murder mystery cruise where you will get a costume. You'll have character sheets. It's going to be just a blast to do that. There's also great deals this week on that. You can email me if you're interested. If you want to bring your family too, we're doing trick-or-treating to our cabins, and we're going to have a costume contest and different things like that. It's going to be great. All of that is going to be included in your fare. No additional costs to you other than what you're going to pay. We're going to have cocktail hours, obviously, in different parties and stuff. So, and again, thank you guys so much. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your Thanksgiving this week. Enjoy your Black Friday. We'll have a bunch more content coming out this week. And thanks for all your support, everyone. We really appreciate it. It's a blast that we get to do this in addition to our real jobs. So thank you guys so much. Have a great one. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.